Guys, Artosis here with the Race Survival Series. We are now beginning week number 3. Let me quickly go over in this game number 1 the teams. For Team Terran, we are going to have Royal, Sharp, and Sock. For Team Protoss, Tyson, Movie, and YSC. And for Team Zerg, 815, Miso, and HM. So, ridiculous lineups here once again in the Race Survival Series. May the best team win. All right, we're starting off with a Zerg versus Protoss match here. In the bottom left of Revolver, we have HM. And in the bottom right, we have none other than Tyson. All right, so, yeah, let's talk about these players a little bit. Tyson is a well-known pro. He's been around for a very long time, but doesn't have any super stellar results. Everyone knows him. He's threatening, but not like top tier of the Protoss pros. HM is still up and coming. Yeah, he hasn't actually been into ASL yet, but he's one of those guys that you just kind of know if you pay attention to the scene that he is going to pop into there eventually. He is kind of that level. So, yeah, I guess technically based on what they've done, you'd say that Tyson should be a slight favorite, but not entirely sure about that, right? Like, I think HM is a really, really strong Zerg player. And I feel like for Tyson, I've mostly just seen his Protoss vs. Terran games for the most part. Can't really remember his Protoss vs. Zerg. But anyways, I've actually played both these guys in tournaments too. Surprise, surprise, I didn't beat him. But anyways, we have the probe coming over. He's going to scout him first. This is a Forge Fast expansion, as we see. Kind of a complicated choke. Well, not that complicated. You put a gate here, and this is link tight, and then you can, like, hold this with a Zealot. You just see the cannon going down, and the probe jumps up into the main base, seeing that it is, in fact, pool first, but not that fast of a pool. So, excuse me, it's not like Tyson is going to be overly afraid of this or anything. The drone did come over and get that scout off. Oh, a second probe is out here. What are we doing here with 2 probes? Huh. All right, Nexus coming up. I really do wonder about that. Like, it was a pool first, so it definitely wasn't going to be a cannon rush. I'm not sure. Like, was he just chasing the drone back? I'm really a little bit confused why that second probe came out. But anyways, he does keep his primary probe alive. Still going to continue to scout that third base coming up right now for HM. Gateway being made at that natural. And yeah. This is the part where it just kind of slows down a little bit, right? They both did pretty safe builds overall, and now both will power because both of them just have kind of defensive stances, right? We have like a photon cannon over here, and on this side, like, it was a quick enough pool that you just don't take damage from anything, and you just go double hatchery. The gas is not particularly quick or anything like that. But is this going to be a Hydros Den? Oh, it is. Okay, so it looks like we're going to probably have a 3-hatch Hydra all-in here from HM. I don't know if I should necessarily call an all-in right off the bat, but that is such a quick Hydros Den that it certainly feels that way right now. Now, the probe is still trying to find a way in, but of course, a Zergling very easily and neatly closes that off. Probe going to continue to try to scout around and stay alive. Just so important to keep that up. We have Hydralisk speed on the way here. As far as that drone count goes, not that high as of yet. Still making some drones, though. Some more lings being hatched. Over on the Protoss side, we have a Zealot on the way in that gateway, as well as one walking across the map right now for some harassment. As it gets up here, it's going to find only a couple drones so far, but we have had a few more lings made. So, like, for instance, 4 lings can go up and kill the Zealot, but you have to keep something on this probe so it doesn't loop around and get an easy scout off. So this Zealot does hit over at the expansion. The drones get pulled back. 4 lings coming up to fight. And Tyson just going to micro this Zealot as best he can. The probe coming up for that. Well, is he coming to help? I'm actually slightly confused about the probe coming here because there's so many lings up there. All right, he does turn it around. Drone is blocking here. That could be a little bit suspicious as the probe tries to come up, because that is far enough from the hatchery. You don't just insta-pull that. That's obviously been there for a little bit. And look at that. The probe wiggles its way through and sees the Hydralisk. This is a huge moment right now for Tyson. HM has to be frustrated. This probe just has not died. It's stayed alive for so long and given him that very incredible information. So we are going to have to see some more cannons go up. Right? Like, we see the second forge, okay, in the main base, because he knows he's going to lose that. He does have the one Corsair. Starting another cannon here now. I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't gone a little bit more ham with the cannons. A little bit, right? Because look at this. This cannon in some trouble right now. Now he's got 4 Hydras attacking. It just gets killed off. So a little bit slow on that. Now, it looks like this forge not going to be able to finish its upgrades. Plenty going down now for Tyson. Just cancels that +1 attack and restarts it here in the main base. And getting enough cannons that as long as he can just hold these back momentarily, he should be fine. Now, still Hydras being made, we can see on that production tab. Forces a kill/cancel onto one of the cannons here. And yeah, 6 cannons are looking pretty strong. Let's see, another macro hatch coming up. Still Hydralisk production. Not that many drones, and he is going to actually run up the ramp with the Lings. I actually didn't think he was going to jump that quickly, but jump he does. The Lings picked off. Probes have been pulled here with those Zealots as well. More Hydras are on the way. HM not giving up on this one. Here it comes in again for those cannons. The Zealots walk forward and tank a lot of the hits. A forge here just to kind of block the movement of these Hydras. Probes having to be pulled here once again as well. Only 1 cannon remains. Another one finishing up, though. Was Tyson a little bit too slow on adding these cannons? That's the really big question, because this is very close, neck and neck right now. Is he actually going to end up holding against this Hydra bust? It's looking more and more likely. As this one finishes, we have 3 healthy cannons. 3 more are being made. The probe's sitting out in good position, and it doesn't feel like very much more of an attack can be made. But let's see. The Corsair is still flying around. Hydras are still being hatched. And, well, that really just kind of tells us what's happening, right? Like, I see 1 drone started. Okay. 1 drone being made right now. We'll see if he makes any more after that. Or will it be more Hydralisk? Yep, another drone. Okay, so it looks like HM is starting to transition. Of course, right now, Tyson doesn't know that. He just keeps seeing Hydras come out. Look, there's like 1 drone over at this hatch. Like, you have to be afraid of that. Now, Psystorm is on the way. That is a big, big deal. A lot of Hydras running up now. Probes coming out to fight once again. Obviously, this High Templar not useful at the moment. All the probes getting pulled to the forward. HM losing a ton of Hydras. Honestly, he's not that far behind in workers. The worker count has been kind of shattered here for Tyson. A little bit of a sloppy move there from HM, unfortunately. Tries to get up that little ramp and loses a few Hydras on the way back down. Psystorm is going to be done here. And we can see that a layer is on the way. Some more drones are being made. Evolution chamber here as well. He's up to 5 hatches somehow during all of that. But good job there from HM. Meantime, we have Dragoon range started. Notice there's not really any more Corsairs being made, just more gates being added here for Tyson. So it definitely looks like he wants to do a counterattack as soon as possible. Kadarin Amulet instantly started here. So this is the High Templar energy upgrade. It'll make it so instead of starting with 50 energy, they'll start with 63. So that is a lot closer to a Psystorm. And of course, then they can end up holding 3 Psystorms with high energy instead of just 2. So definitely a very useful upgrade. I'm surprised to see it this early. You normally don't see it until after a 3rd base, but kind of cool to see that little difference. Now we have, 7 gates in the main producing. That +1 carapace is coming. He does already have the +1 attack. His entire army is actually 5 High Templars and 1 Corsair that's out scouting on the map. So kind of a funny, a funny army right now, but it's a great way to do it, right? Like, you want to get those High Templars out early so they can build up their energy. You'll have lots of Psystorms. Quite a few Dragoons coming out now. And there's the Robo, which is so, so important. The Corsair saw that the layer is done and that he has a Hydralisk den. Well, obviously you know he has a Hydra's Den, but point being that if you don't see the Spire, why do they go to Lair? Definitely not just for Overlord speed. You got to assume that Lurkers are going to be made. But of course, Psystorm, Dragoon plus Observer going to be exactly the counter that he needs to battle against those incoming Lurkers. So HM, is he going to take a forward position and try to do a Hydra Lurker contain, or is he going to play more defensively? I'm really unsure. He is going up to 6 hatches. He's really recovered his economy excellently. That's one thing I want to mention. It's very impressive sometimes watching pro gamers who get super aggressive in the early game, but then can like redrone or reprobe and get up to like actually a very reasonable economy quite quickly. Now, a Dark Archon is being made. This is not something that I expected. This can be an amazing counter with Maelstrom to play against Mutalisks. Does he think it's Mutalisks, or is he just looking for a Maelstrom? I mean, you can use Maelstrom on Lurkers. You can use it on Hydras. So it's definitely not worthless, but generally it's only really created for feedbacks against Defiler's late game, and then, of course, Maelstrom against those Mutas. So I'm really interested. Every time I see a Dark Archon, that's like, it's an important moment. One that I want to study and learn from. All right. A lot of Lurkers coming up towards the natural. Looks like he is going to spread them for a little bit of a containment. But of course, you have 2 exits, right? You have this main ramp that goes down into the middle of the map. And then you have this area, right? Where you have a third base that has a gas. You have another couple ramps to get out, and then the big wide ramp to come down in the same area the Lurkers are at. So he's containing towards the middle, but of course, you can attack this way if you want. Now, the Hydras start to walk up. Oh my god. That was like the greatest defensive posture ever. Look at this. All these cannons, all these goons, and then also a Psystorm. So those Hydras get mega punished. Observer going across the map. Overlord speed coming down and picking that off immediately. I actually did not notice if he ended up getting drops. That could be something that we end up seeing, but it doesn't feel good right at this second. Dark Archon coming down. Now, normally you want to hide that Dark Archon when you make it. It takes a while for it to gain the energy for Maelstrom, and you just don't want them to know that you have one because it's just such a different unit, and it is pretty expensive to get one out because you do have to upgrade Maelstrom as well. Okay, here we go. In comes these gigantic forces. Okay, that's an excellent Maelstrom right there. Catching a good 6 Hydralisks. Another great couple Psystorms go down there. The 6 Hydras all die basically for free between a Storm and Maelstrom and a few volleys from those Dragoons. Now, the Hydra Lurker going to have to back up. Tyson staying on this high ground, getting his 3rd base location. The 4th being taken by HM. Now Tyson deciding to walk down. Another beautiful Psystorm goes down. Another one on these Lurkers, and he's going to break out of this containment in a matter of seconds. This is looking to me very much like a Tyson victory right now. It really feels like, you know, he was on the edge with how late those cannons were against the initial rush. But since then, it has been just an amazing game out of Tyson. He's really controlled everything very well. He's gotten up his tech. He's got a lot of Psystorms and Dragoons. He's read the situation correctly. And look at him just bash through HM right now. It looks like Protoss should be taking game number 1. And HM, unfortunately, our first player going to be going down for Zerg. Right? Well, maybe I'm calling it too soon, but no. I mean, it's like 3 Hydras coming out at a time right now. This army is so strong and so big. Look at this giant production from across the map. When you see that it's as many Dragoons being made as Hydralisks, and they already have a bigger army, that's rough. Almost another Maelstrom. Look at this. On this High Templar, we actually have 3 Psystorms. On this one, almost 2. So it's about 5 Psystorms, a Maelstrom, a bunch of goons with 1/1. This should end up being a roll wherever he decides to go. All right, comes up, a Psystorm on that ramp. HM microing back. Another Psystorm goes down. And, I mean, you're going to have to bring out all of your units here. But I think HM is just about done at this point. Few more units coming up. And GG is called. Protoss wins game 1.